What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? Back again with another content. Today we're gonna check out the guide for the Bertrand in the game. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel for more content, turn on that bell notification and never miss out. Like the video, share it with your friends, leave some comments down below. Let's get the video started. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, this is season T1 and the game developers have added 2 brand new magic heroes in the game. I already made a guide for the Tohar. Today we're gonna check out Bertrand. Now Bertrand was designed to pair up with Tohar efficiently, so if you want to get the best value out of this Bertrand, you are gonna have to pair him with Tohar. Now in terms of investment, I would say you should invest in Bertrand 100%, whether you are Archer main or the Mage main. This is one of the heroes that you need on your roster. The main reason is because he has a 1500 single target skill damage, which is gonna be useful when you fight enemies in a 1v1 situation. Now when it comes to Tohar, I can say maybe hold off just a little bit, wait and see how people test this hero in the open field. I have him at 5553. I'm going to be awakening him pretty soon, so I'm gonna test him out in the open field and make another video to see what's really going on. Hopefully the game developers can change the rage skill for this guy and give it something awesome. Maybe remove the movement restriction. That should be awesome. Now getting back to Bertrand, today we're gonna see what this hero is all about. Make sure you invest in this hero whether you are Archer main or a Magic main. He is awesome for the open field. So we're gonna check out the artifacts that you can use, the talent tree, the war pets and all the good stuff. Let's get into it. Alright, Bertrand is in the building. And we're gonna go straight to the emoji. This is one of the most good looking emojis in the game. I think a lot of people are gonna unlock it and just try to piss everybody off with it. So let's start off with the skills of Mr. Bertrand and see what is so good about this hero. We have the rage skill known as the Entitled Rage. Bertrand deals damage to the target legion and consumes all stacks of golden mark, increasing damage dealt by 5% per stack. Pretty much straightforward. If you get a stack, you increase the 1300 by 5%, which is awesome. Skill number 2, known as the Compound Interest. Now this is the skill that a lot of people don't like. It goes as follows. When Bertrand deals hero skill damage, he gains 1 stack of golden mark for 5 seconds. Maximum stacks 3. Each stack of golden mark increases hero skill damage dealt by 10%. So people interpret this skill in a different way. They think that if you get 3 stacks, you are gonna get 30% hero skill damage. Now this is going to be possible when you pair up Bertrand with Tohar, because Tohar has a skill damage that acts for 5 seconds. So you have 5 skill damages that's gonna trigger this ability and give you 3 stacks, giving you 30% hero skill damage. Now when you put Bertrand as a deputy and it's time for him to do his rage skill, he is gonna consume all those 3 stacks and give himself 15% hero skill damage to boost this 1300 skill damage factor. So that is how the skill should work. Unfortunately, as of right now, only Tohar can trigger all 3 stacks. If you pair up Bertrand with all the other heroes in the game, you are only gonna get 1 stack, because this ability only happens for 5 seconds and you cannot get enough rage to take advantage of these 5 seconds. So if you're free to play, you should maybe get this hero to 5155. That way you can put Bertrand as a deputy and then you don't need to upgrade this skill anymore, because your primary hero is gonna trigger 1 stack and then Bertrand is gonna consume that stack regardless of what you have here. So if you're putting this guy deputy as a free to play, you can do 5155. Now if you want to max out this skill, you can put Bertrand as a primary hero, and then when he trigger his stack, you're gonna get 10% hero skill damage that your deputy is going to use. So that's how this skill works for now. A lot of people want it to be changed, but I don't think anything is gonna be done about this skill. You wanna know why? We already have someone in the game who also has a mark. Theodore uses the Mark of Consul. And to get all the stacks for the Marks of Consul, you need to pair up Theodore with Mr. Forondil. A lot of people say his awakening can trigger all the stacks for Mr. Theodore. So you guys can see these 2 heroes built to work together, and these two heroes are also built to work together. Do not think that you're gonna pair up Bertrand with Lilia and get all the 3 stacks from Bertrand. That is just not gonna happen. Moving on to skill number 3. Magic Circle. All magic units in Bertrand's Legion gain 25% attack and 10% penetration. It is just great. So when you get the hero, your main goal is to try and get him to 5-1, 5-1 as a free to play. That should be a good place to start. And then skill number 4, known as the Blue Blood. While in the field, Bertrand's Legion gains 15% attack and 15% defense if they have not taken normal attack damage for 3 seconds. So this skill is not good for a 1 versus 1 fight. It can be very, very useful against forest eagles because they have to fly to try and get to you. By the time they get to you, they wouldn't have hit you with 3 normal attacks. So you should be able to use these skills against forest eagles. But other ranged units, it's gonna be difficult to trigger this skill because they are gonna hit you the moment you touch them. When we go to the Awakening, Noblesse Oblige. Bertrand deals damage to the target legion and consumes all stacks of Golden Mark. Now the damage factor is gonna be 1500, so you get a 200 skill damage factor increase. It's pretty useful, especially for this hero. It's gonna take this all the way up to 1500, making it fantastic for the open field. And so the second skill was designed to work with Tohar, the same way they designed the Mark of Consul to work with Forondil. So that's how you should look at these two heroes. Now a lot of people are not investing in Tohar and I don't blame them. Hopefully something is done about this channeling. Up next, we're gonna check out some best pairing for Bertrand in the Call of Dragons. The first one is going to be Tohar. He has the channeling. His channeling is gonna trigger this compound interest and give you the maximum 30%. That is the only possibility. Now when you put Bertrand with Tohar, you're also gonna take advantage of the new artifact known as the Mirage Orb. So when we go back here to the bottom, we can find the Mirage Orb over here. Now there is additional effect where every time your legion gains a buff effect through hero skill, they deal 7% more artifact skill damage up to a maximum of 21% at level 1. So when you pair Bertrand and Tohar, you're gonna get the maximum 21%, which is awesome. Another good pairing is gonna be Bertrand and Mr. Velin. That's gonna give you some good hero skill crit and skill damage. Velin is gonna bring 15% hero skill damage that Bertrand can use. And Bertrand can also give Velin another 10% hero skill damage. So that's a good pairing. You can go Bertrand and Lilia. And this time you're gonna have a massive attack for the open field, meaning you can do lots of counter attack when multiple people are hitting you. And when you're fighting in a 1v1 situation, it might be okay. But Lilia is not for 1v1 situation, so it's gonna be a different story. So a Bertrand and a Velin can defeat a Bertrand and a Lilia because Lilia is designed for the open field. So that's not how you test out this hero. Just pair them up together and see which one brings you the most merits. Now you can pair Bertrand with the flying hero Thea. Thea over here. Thea can give you 55% attack when you have the Celestials. So that's gonna help you big time. So you have 55% attack from Thea, and then you have 40% attack from Bertrand, giving you 95% attack. If no one is fighting you back, you should be able to do lots of damage to that person that you are fighting. Plus, it's also gonna be good for 1v1 situation. So that's gonna be awesome. You can pair up Bertrand with Mr. Walder if you want. You can pair with Atheus, another flying legion. You can pair with Mr. Alwyn over here, if that's something you want to try out. So these are the pairings for the hero in the game. But the number one best pairing would be Bertrand and Tohar. And then you can also go Bertrand and Thea. Then you can go Bertrand and Lilia or Bertrand and Velin. I don't know which one is the best. Only testing will show us with time. When it comes to war pets, you have a lot of options to use for your Bertrand in the Call of Dragons. The number one war pet in the game right now, I think, is the Sapphire Frederick. It can do damage to 2 targets. That alone makes it one of the best. As you can see, 165 to 2 targets. That is awesome. Now the second war pet on the list would be this one right here, known as the Shadow Frederick, which has the captive ability to give you damage bonus of this value depending on your attributes. So this would be the second war pet to try and use. Third one, I would maybe use Thunder Lizard if you're using Bertrand on the ground. Thunder Lizard is a good single target war pet. I would stay away from the Ice Lizard because it's gonna delay your hero rage skill. You can use the Sand Lizard as well if that is something that you want to try. So these are the war pets that you can use for this hero in the game. In terms of artifacts, you have a lot of options. Now the best one you can use for Bertrand is going to be the Mirage Orb. This is the best one to use, especially when you pair him up with Tohar. You're gonna get a lot of buffs from the rage skill. Now other artifacts are also useful with this hero. You have the Breath of the Yargentis. You can use this artifact. You can use the Visage of the Sanctus when you have Thea as a deputy. You also have some new epic artifact here. Is it this book, Lakeside Rhapsody? Something you can try as a free-to-play player. You have the Magic Bomb. You have plenty of good stuff here. When you pair with Lilia, you can use the Infernal Flame. You can use the Tear of Arbon. And then we have the Phoenix Eye as well. So these are some of the artifacts that you can use effectively with this guy. You can also use the Fang of the Ashkari. However, you won't be able to do the artifact scale damage until you get close to the enemy. You also have this one for the HP Staff of the Prophet if you want to try that out. You have the Freezing Ring, something to use. And then there is one book here that you can use as well for the mages. Where is it? This one right here, known as the Enchiridion of Advanced Incantations. So this is something you can try as a free-to-play player. Let us check out the talent tree for the Bertrand in the Call of Dragons. So we're gonna go to the Roots of War because we have level 60 Bertrand here. That's gonna give us the perfect talent tree to use. So we click Bertrand, we go to the talents, and this is what I have here. This is the talent tree that is used by most people in the game. So we're gonna go over the talents and then see other talent tree branches as well. Start off with the foundation, overall attack, get the march speed, you need it for Bertrand, he is too slow. You get the HP, you get the mighty power, it is awesome. Now going in the direction of the magic talent tree, you have attack, you have intimidation, your legion deals 4% more hero skill damage, you have head held high to give you more rage. Now when you come to this node, you need to think twice if you're gonna use a hero skill, a player. I mean, if you're using a hero who has a skill damage as a deputy, you go with Boiling Blood. If you're using someone like Tohar as a deputy or Thea as a deputy, you go with Spirit of Rage. You come over here and you grab Detached. You get the Focus, increase hero skill crit rate. You get the Raging Tide. And you come here and you get Caged Animal. If you go with Thirst for Blood, it is also great. So you can pick this one. Now, a lot of people want this to work with the Compound Interest. A few months ago, I asked the developers if skills from the talent tree can trigger marks, and they said they do not. Like in the case of Theodore and Corondil, the talent tree does not trigger anything. So I think the same thing will happen over here. So this is not going to trigger your compound interest unless they change it in the future. So let's wait and see. Now you come back to the magic talent tree, you grab the HP, you grab the march speed, you grab the intimidation, and then you get the magic maelstrom. You don't take this because Bertrand does not do damage to multiple targets. As you can see here, I have 1 point left here of protection. When casting rage skill, your legion has a 25% chance to gain a shield. Shield factor of 40. Since this is a flying hero and you might be using him mostly with Thea all the time, so you're gonna need that shield to trigger Lex Lucis. Now how does this skill work? So this skill is gonna give you 30%. However, you need to get 3 shields to get all 30%. If you don't have other boosts for this hero, you're not gonna get the maximum attack very fast. It's gonna take you probably 30 seconds to get it. because you get your first rage skill at maybe 9 seconds, the second rage skill at 18 seconds, and then the third rage skill at maybe 28 seconds. So that is the third shield. However, you can fix this problem by using one of the war pet skills known as the heart wall. That heart wall is going to give you a shield and trigger this. So when you come to Bertrand, you also have the orb of protection. You have the chance of triggering Thea Lex Lucis and getting the 30% attack as fast as possible. Now the one thing you want to avoid is steady hands if you pair up Bertrand with Thea. So it says when gaining a buff effect, your Legion has a 20% chance to gain synergy. So this is the keyword, synergy, increasing their hero skill damage dealt by 10% for 5 seconds. So if you pick this skill, it is going to interfere with the synergy for Thea. As you can see here, Thea has a synergy that's going to give you 15% skill damage. So when you pick this skill for Mr. Bertrand here, when you have Thea as a deputy, it's going to overwrite the Thea synergy and then give you this 10% instead. So you don't want to pick this for your Thea. However, if you're using Mr. Bertrand, if you're using Tohar as a deputy, then this is something you can consider taking. But if you want to go in this direction, you go grab Egoism, you take the Wither. When you get over here, you take Cry Havoc. This one is going to be for continuous damage. Not sure if it's going to work with Tohar channeling. If it does, then this is something you want to pick. And then at the end, you take Iconoclasm. When your Legion is composed entirely of magic units, you deal 2% more hero skill damage for 10 seconds every time you gain a buff effect up to 10%. So Tohar and Bertrand can gain buff effects from rage skill very fast. So this is something you can pick if you want to come in this direction. Of course, you can still go full magic and then have PvP. If you don't want to take the magic direction, you can grab attack, grab might speed, take the Fury Flame, and then pick Army of Valor. This is how you can go about in the PvP talent tree. Overall, the magic talent tree is the way to go. And this node, you pick it based on the deputy that you're going to use with this hero. And that's it for the video, guys. The guide for the Bertrand in the Call of Dragons. Should you invest in this hero? I think you should. He is an awesome flying magic hero. One of the best. You need to have him in your roster. Now the one thing you need to do is if you build your war pet and you're going to be using Thea, this is the heart wall that you need to put on your war pet to trigger the Lex Lucis and help you get 30% attack damage very fast. So thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, subscribe. Until then, talk to you guys in the next video. Bye bye for now.